Take a look inside Road to Respect, the new Sopranos game.
Welcome to the family.
We were meeting with somebody from THQ who said that they were looking for a developer to make a game based on the Sopranos property. Personally, I've been a huge fan of the show ever since it came out. And when I heard that, my jaw dropped and I said, okay, we would definitely want to do it.
Our story takes place between seasons 5 and 6, and the script is just over 600 pages.
Obviously, we have to be careful about who lives and who dies.
You're gonna lie to me now?
There is literally hundreds of lines in a game like this that all has to get poured over.
Joey, how much more do I have to listen to? Sorry, Sil.
The world that David Chase has set up in Sopranos has created a really complex world for us to play in as a game player.
Making sure we hit the tone of the show, making sure we get the voices correct, and making sure we don't have the characters from the show doing things that they wouldn't do. And it's a bit of a challenge in terms of marrying one of the best dramas ever created with a video game where you're essentially doing a lot of fighting.
You take care of that thing?
All the main cast members are involved. James Gandolfini.
You know, the hardest part of being boss is this, killing people.
Silvio, Paulie, Christopher.
Tony's gonna love hearing about this.
To have the real Sopranos experience, you have to have the real actors.
Video game players want the real thing, and we had to have involvement from the cast.
Being able to get the original cast really brings this authenticity, and it feels like a Sopranos experience because of that.
I was thrilled that they asked me to be in it.
Is he still breathing? Then keep it up.
That's pretty wild. I mean, I always wanted to get a character on The Simpsons and always wind up in a crossword. Like, you know, 4 letters, gay mobster, Vito.
God punishes me for being pretty.
Tony Sirico coming to life as a video game. That's very exciting to me.
Don't just stand there. This ain't happy hour. Take over. My manicure's fucking wrong.
You know, seeing the virtual Tony Sirico with his hands together and he's pointing the fingers, and I think it's hilarious.
There's nobody like Tony Sirico, and to see him represented in a game is, to me, priceless.
You better have one of these things here, because I ain't messing my hair. Well, this game's going down in history. I can keep beating you up all night.
Dealing with Paulie and Vito and Christopher and Silvio and Tony, they're gonna feel like they're part of the crew.
You'll see a lot of Paulie using his fingers. If you pull that shit again, this way, this way, this way, up yours. A lot of Paulie choking, beaten up, a lot of blood. And Paulie's very funny. He's very funny.
Look, he's a fucking comedian.
I'm about to punch you in the mouth.
We want you to be able to walk through the Bing and go in and hear Tony and Paulie talking, and then they look up and see you and tell you to get the hell out, and then you do something and come back and hey, they're still talking.
The amount of spoken lines, it is between 10 and 12,000 lines, which is unprecedented. I mean, for voice actors, we have, aside from the crew, we have dozens of other actors that did hundreds of parts.
We've gone out of our way to really create moments where you're both interacting with these guys and just watching them, fly on the wall.
Calm down, AJ. Just tell me, are you all right?
I was happy with the dialogue and the writing because they didn't really shy away from it. It's like it was real, it was raw.
AJ got carjacked.
Motherfucker! Sons of bitches trying to run him down with his own car, with my car!
Who?
What the fuck do you think? Twins! Italian looking.
Buscetti's twins.
Just being able to, play the mob boss's son is also fun, and, it's fun to get into trouble, and he could kind of get you out of it.
First the drugs, now this. It's time to push back. You start with Angie's Porn Studio, the place Sal runs. It's staying in our community.
It was fun doing the voice. Those one-liners, they went quick. I added a few that they liked.
Whatever, you fucking mook. Hey, you're a fucking badass.
There's nothing funny about blowing a guy. Go ahead. I just put a request in to make me slimmer.
Cheeseburger and a vanilla shake. If it's chocolate, you're fucking taking it back. Got it? Well, this is a big challenge, actually, to do. You're not acting with another character. You have to really take everything from the inside and just kind of be spontaneous and get a feel for it and go with it. What's your bra size, pretty boy?
It's always such an honor to get to work with these people.
Maybe I should call my dad.
Even though it's doing different stuff than people see me do on the show, I mean, you could totally, it's still AJ and he's still the same rotten kid.
Oh, this is bullshit. Fuck!
Well, everybody's just playing the normal role, and my role is the consigliere to the family.
You guys need to start trusting me.
And the last thing I played was, Pac-Man or whatever. You know?
Here's your chance. Deal with this prick.
I think truly working in the world of Sopranos, we wanted to create a new character so that we could be respectful to the way that the show has dealt with all the main cast, and really gives the player a chance to experience the world and come into it fresh.
We wanted to give the player an opportunity to kind of create their own experience and personality in the game. And if they were playing one of the original cast members, it would kind of already be predefined.
You come into the game as Joey LaRocca, who's a low-level person in the Sopranos organization, and you're trying to become a made man.
It's his evolution of a character. It's how this small person makes it big. It's no one who eventually becomes made through his experiences with the Sopranos crew.
I'm playing Joey LaRocca. I'm an enforcer, basically doing whatever they tell me to do. And I have to earn the respect of all the other characters because I have so much to prove, being the bastard son of Big Pussy, the rat.
Your old man was a rat, that's what I know.
We thought about a lot of kinds of people and settled on Big Pussy having an illegitimate son by an unknown Kumar mistress because everybody loves Big Pussy, and we wanted someone who would sort of have a connection to the crew and yet not be the same as a lot of the people we've already seen come on the show. We don't want you mistaking our character for Jackie Jr. or some other person who's come in for a season like Steve Buscemi. It's a similar idea, but someone new.
Joey is the character that you guys control. He's got to do good, otherwise he gets whacked and he ends up like me.
Your old man was a rat, like it or not. Sorry to tell you, kid. Chris ain't wrong.
He's trying to overcome the fact that his father left with a bad name.
663.
It's amazing how many times your family can disappoint me.
We thought it would be really neat if he had an illegitimate son somewhere. He's such a family guy, and it would be such a conflicted start for this character in the game to be, the son of a rat.
You got a big heart, Tone. Putting Big Pussy's bastard kid on the payroll.
Come on, Chris. Can we bury the hatchet? I'll say it again. I'm not my father.
It seemed like there was an open window through Big Pussy having a kid, and that also lets us use the ghost of Big Pussy or an image of Big Pussy as a character in the game.
Well, fuck him anyway. He took off.
Yeah, I got news for you, Joey. There's more than one way to shame your family.
Well, fans are gonna love seeing Pussy, back in action.
The ghost of Pussy passed. It's like like me making a comeback again with the role of Big Pussy. I mean, there were a couple of cast members that even come up and said, "You're in the game?" I said, "Yes, I am."
Never wear a dead man's watch, especially if you whack the guy.
What's good about what happened with this game is that I was able to have some closure with my family, which I really wasn't able to do in the series.
I gotta ask you, Tone, about my father. Is he really dead like, some people think?
Well, I guess they kind of liked what I did from auditioning for the show. And I guess David Chase remembered me, so when this came about, he suggested me. So it was a nice surprise.
Look at you. Fucking street punks. What do you care?
He actually is not just voice acting on a different character. He plays himself. The person in the game looks like Christian.
I was born to kick ass.
Player character, Joey, is kind of similar to what Christopher was when he was young.
He's a pain in the ass. He needs a kick every now and then. Paulie's the perfect guy to do that, though. Paulie's trying to school him on being sharp, but every now and then the kid retards out a little bit. But Paulie pulls him back in.
I work for Paulie. You got that? Paulie.
You're working your way up through the ranks, and as you're doing that, you have to interact with all the key members of the Sopranos crew.
You must be fucking kidding me.
They give you missions. If you accomplish them, you move up. If you don't, dire consequences.
We have a respect meter in there. When his respect meter drops to the bottom, then he gets whacked.
Did everything great. Right up to the point where you got yourself killed.
Fraught with nothing but danger from within, from without.
Listen, kid, you don't talk like that to a captain, no matter how immature he is.
From what I understand, he winds up in the end of the game getting made. If not, he don't.
There's things in here that aren't in the show. New things, new characters.
Some original characters we created actually in conjunction with David Chase, who were voiced by new actors.
Hi, you've reached Trishelle. Leave your name and number, and I hope we speak soon.
I'm Monica Kina, and I'm playing Trishelle. Trishelle's a really tough cookie.
You're not gangsters, you're losers!
I'm definitely this tough, badass girl that doesn't take any crap from anybody. but at the same time, I sort of play the hot, sexy love interest of Joey.
In some ways, she is Joey's conscious, and she helps kind of drive the player and kind of point them in the right direction as they're going through their experience.
You ever want to, you know, get reacquainted, call me, okay?
Digits, now.
I was wondering why you be doing Tony's dirty work. Now I know. You're a fucking moron.
Robert Costanzo plays Bichetta, who he is, in a way, the other Tony.
What am I doing here? And why do I exist? The existential question.
Your Butana friend, how's she looking these days?
Better than your nephew did when I dumped him off the pig.
We ain't true, Joey. Not even close. Angelo Buscetta is very violent, very dangerous, not easily intimidated by Tony. Don't fuck me, Tony. I need this.
Oh, Angie, watch the language. This is a religious event.
He does play this older, more of an old school mob boss from Philly who has been, kind of comes back.
I did some Italian for them. I don't really speak, as I told people, I'm bilinguini. Disgraziata fangola mamma. Are you guys hearing all this?
It's like another episode of the show, you know, really. It just, it gels right into it. It's like it's a solid fit.
When you start out with a world like The Sopranos has, it's not a blank slate.
For us, it was a really interesting balance of reality and the way that the show treats the characters and delivering something that the game players want.
It's not about good and evil and black and white. It's very gray. The main characters are not necessarily heroes in the traditional sense. And so it was like a challenge. It was kind of cool to see how we can do that, how we can bring that experience to video games.
We're both writing in the voice of The Sopranos and also making sure we hit the marks that a video game requires in terms of keeping the player in the right space and letting the player know what they can and can't be doing in the particular instance of gameplay they're in.
Obviously recreating such a beautiful visual style that the show's come up with that is like cutting edge reality. It's very tough to simulate that reality.
You looking for sympathy? Sympathy? Get the fuck out of here.
Way to think a lot so you could actually interact with them. You come to a game like this and you interact with them. You come to a game like this and you expect.
We want to give everybody that backdoor access.
That's their world. They look very important to them.
We want you to walk into that rush.
Important to them.
We want you to walk into that rush when you see the strippers. When you see the strippers. We want you to interact with Silvio. You got Tony up there in the where the back room was in reference to the Bing because it's kind of like sometimes vague. They go and then all of a sudden there we get the architecture. We got the blueprints from the set. We're walking the set. We know what's going on with these places. We recreate it as if it's the exact bathroom that is in the Bing. That they shoot in the series. You had to put some new areas that would mix well with the show's already very balanced. And then we would go and shoot whatever in New Jersey. Everything that we're doing is over there because it's so different.
We had the docks. We actually took pictures of
Sopranos in the docks. We actually took pictures of Sopranos in these places. We're using them in a different way of our game. Usually it's from the show. We have a garage from the first season. So we revisit things. You're getting a new environment, but very much branded Sopranos.
That is, without a doubt, the dumbest fucking idea
That's what really helps us on the art side. We have to be completely correct in the shoes that the people wear, and the outfits, and the face. People know these characters. They love these characters. So if you don't nail it dead on, somebody's like, oh, it's not how he looks. It's not just a person, it's like they have a character. They have an attitude, they have these looks. Silvio's got that all the time. How Italians speak with their hands and stuff like that. He's a
stonado, the first magnitude.
The whole cast has been really, really great about working with, giving us feedback on their likeness, and they're trying to get out there.
The animations of The Sopranos are lifelike.
When you walk into the Bada Bing, you see the characters. And then other times on jobs. So they give you jobs. So they give you jobs, and then every once in a while they'll actually come along on the job, so you'll be able to with him, fight people with him.
Let's go, Junior.
With him.
Let's go, Junior. Our work here is done.
Really, the player usually goes to the
what we call hubs in the games, or the main locations, alleys, Vesuvios. You'll go there to interact with the crew. You'll go there to interact with the crew.
Time to lose your cherry, my friend. Who invited you?
This is to create a complete 3D model of the actual set from the show. Photographs taken from all angles of the location, the signs on the outside, and then we would go to the interior, smaller object in the set. We would then create these photographs and turn them into an image that's applied to the surface of models inside the game that you can fly around through or walk through, so that we have a full lighting of what the actual lighting of the set is. Create a full rendered image of the set. This can really go. I mean, basically we have in 3 weeks everything looks pretty much right.
Really exciting about it is to feel like you've now entered the show. Exciting about it is to feel like you've now entered the show and go to the actual cast members.
You can also play poker. You can also play poker with them eventually in the game once you earn their respect.
Come the fuck on.
The gambling minigame is cool for many reasons. Play poker, which is always fun.
Don't be a bitch, call me.
Which is always fun.
Don't be a bitch, call me.
And it allows you to play poker with the crew, which is always cool.
Shit.
The gambling means a lot in terms of the money that you earn. Means a lot in terms of the money that you earn, you paying up.
Were those good? I never really played before.
And by gambling, you can gain extra money to help pay up.
I got some extra scratch.
To unlock extra things and just kind of advance in the game quicker.
Yeah, but
Besides just interacting with the crew, it's your chance to take money away from Tony and Paulie and Christopher. They may not like that, but you can still do it. And then you can use that money to buy unlockables.
just give your money to me and save time.
What's up, y'all?
It's a completely licensed soundtrack. Every scene scored as the TV show. The licensed music is used to score feelings and what would normally like male vocalists kind of crooning at Vesuvio, and we've got classical music playing in the law office, and we've all kinds of music, and that's another thing that made this project really fun to work on is all the
ambiances, and all the environments are being designed from scratch. All the combat sounds are being designed from scratch. We have a lot of special moves. Really, a theme that I'm going forward is like hyper realism, which is like realism with like something a little bit extra to give it that edge. Violence is really brutal.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Bada bing.
In the show The Sopranos, there's always consequences to every action. Sometimes they're the unexpected and the unintended happen in the game, and that was part of capturing the character.
Makes for great gameplay. Like most games that you play.
Much on The Sopranos as you do in the game, but we've tried to deal with it by having lots of verbal choices. The player chooses what they say, and there's a variety of responses that they'll hear based on their choices.
Pound this cunt, seeing your captain disrespect.
Fuck this guy. He's lucky he ain't fucking dead.
Say something tough to the guy, maybe you intimidate him. And we have a variety of results based on your choices. And something tough to the guy, maybe you intimidate him. And we have a variety of results based on your choices, and sometimes for every.
And then of course, we do want to bring that level. Of like drama and characterization to the world too.
You fucking gabon.
Action is what video game players.
Periods of character interaction punctuated by intense violence.
To the show. And and did a survey of like all 5 seasons basically, and are like, what are the moments where you actually do combat with somebody?
And we found that they were very interesting because they used the environment.
It's obviously not about fighting fair. They'll grab anything they can to get. Obviously not about fighting fair. They'll grab anything they can to get their point. Get into the game by creating hundreds of unique weapons. Things like creating hundreds of unique weapons. Things like typical bats and wrenches, but then we have some, we got a lava lamp, we got a megaphone, crutches, IV stands.
It's really gory, it's shocking. It's really gory, it's shocking. It's not always pleasant.
Grabbing a guy and punching him. Special moves in this game, really brutal moves where people are just in total agony. In this game, really brutal moves where people are just in total agony.
Oh yeah. Somebody gets whacked, somebody gets, beat up, somebody gets whacked, somebody gets, beat up, somebody gets the shit kicked out of them. As the gamer, you kind of want to experience.
The idea of being released from your social inhibitions, the way characters are, and getting to play in a way that you can't. The exciting part about games is that it gives you a way to live not as a law-abiding citizen, but when you put down the controller, you can go back.
Joey, get the fuck over here. Joey, get the fuck over here.
I'm so excited about this game.
Just the amount of effort that has gone into it. Everyone with their specialties doing like what they do best, and kind of just the day with their specialties doing like what they do best, and kind of just the day-to-day, everyone contributing their little piece of it and bringing it together and it becoming sort of this polished whole.
Pains have been taken to make it authentic and real.
Hey, you, shut the fuck up.
This generation loves the games. They love animation, especially realistic animation.
You get to beat somebody down with a pork chop in the back of Satcher Ellis.
It's something to do when Sopranos isn't on.
We filled in the blanks with HBO's collaboration experience you can get.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is not a video game that has the Sopranos influence into it. It is a Sopranos video game.
Just check it out.
I think it's about time that there's a game. People are going to be feeling like they're